Bonjour, dear friends. This is so exciting to be together again. We are May 15, a very historical day. Why it's history? Because we're together. We're here to create history together and have an amazing time. This is what those JCB Live moment happy hour are what it's all about. Getting together 4 times a week has been a blessing. I need to confess again, this is the best time of the day for me. This is the time I look forward all day. And tonight, it's a gorgeous day in Napa Valley. We have around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, no wind, perfection. The grapes have received a little bit of rain, just gently, softly, to create a perfect moment for the berries to expand. Not that they've formed yet, but they will be soon. And we are together. So what's better? And we have an amazing guest tonight. I will tell you about him in a moment, but we are in the famous JCB Wine Bar. As I'm telling you a few updates, which is exciting too, is we may be able to reopen really early June. You know, there's new measures in the town that will allow us to do more curbside specials and eventually have you enjoy wine outside, even in Yountville, can you believe? So we're talking about major evolution in the wine country, and we're gonna be able to serve food everywhere. So that's a big news. We want food, we want wine, we want contacts, we want physicality, we want emotion, we want passion. I wanna thank Derek, he just came in, Pamela, Andrew, Kelly, Angela is here, and Gracias Ruiz, Kimberly Miller, Megan Long. Megan has been a long time. Rajmin from Texas. Ooh la la, so many friends from all over. Cindy Martin, thank you. Jill Hope. Ilona, of course. Ilona, this is fabulous that you're here again. We're going to be, dear friends, starting with a little glass of passion. I'm going to wait still a few seconds because many of you are still coming and texting and saying, wait, we're logging in. So this is so exciting to be together on this Friday night because we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics of all, Baccarat. We're going to talk about crystals. We're going to talk about what really makes us getting so excited. Yeah, I started tasting the wine and it's so good. You know, of course, as every night, we have Melissa Lynch, our fabulous DJ tonight. They've changed role with Miss Lombard, who is holding the torch on the live. And we have, of course, Patrick Egan, who is multitasking. His Instagram, his Facebook, his YouTube. God knows where he is. He is communicating with the world tonight. The music is back. Miss Lynch wants to dance. It's going to be time soon that we open because here in beautiful California, it's 6:05. There's a lot of news. Many of you, hundreds of you are with us. Donna, Diane Hart, welcome. Ilona, Jeremy Jesus is with us. Dear friends, look at this. Look at this baby. Have some of you not tried this? If you haven't, tonight is the night. This is passion. We're going to try the wine. We're going to try the bubbles. And we're going to travel with 81 too. So that's going to be the tasting. So Rebecca, aloha from Hawaii. I love it. I want to come surfing. Even Jacques is here. Wow. Jim, you are bringing the full house. Before we bring you, I need to say a few words about you. Thank you, dear friends, again. This is JCB Live, May 15th, 2020. A day that will never be the same. And luckily, thanks to us, a day of joy, happiness, and of course, today, a day of learning, because every Friday, thanks to a great artist, a great personality, we learn a lot. So tonight, dear friends, I have an incredible friend that was coup de foudre when I met him, love at first sight, unbelievable personality, enormous charisma, a man who knows fashion, who knows style, who embodies within his personality, who imbues within his skin, who looks fashion, he speaks fashion, he is fashion. I'm delighted to introduce you the president and CEO of the most historical company on the planet, creating the best crystal ever, the famous, the flamboyant, the beautiful, the charming, the sexy, the debonair Jim Shreve.
Bonsoir.
Jim, bonsoir, mon ami.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Shall we have some bubbly?
I think the time has come that you and I cheer at a distance. So where are you, Jim, today?
New York, it's 9 o'clock, so I've been waiting to drink for you.
Well, I'm glad that you had a little preview before. I know you listened to that great sound. Woo! You know, we have a tradition. Miss Lynch opens her mouth and grabs it. Tonight, she swallowed the cork. So can we call the emergency room, please, and make sure? Patrice, just kiss Miss Lynch. We'll do something. So, Jim, we are trying passion. So where are we in New York? Is it your beautiful apartment?
So we're in my apartment in New York City in Tribeca. We're going to try passion out of passion. With passion.
So, dear friends, you need to realize that Jim and I had a very unique, phenomenal relationship. Jim, tonight feels like the first time. It feels like a déjà vu, as we say in good French. It feels like we're just meeting again. So what really do you remember about us meeting the first time? And where was that?
Well, I'll try to be serious.
In New York?
First, I don't know who you were describing as the intro, but I thank you. You were very kind and generous. I do remember meeting you, John Charles, for the very first time with your beautiful wife, Gina, at the Baccarat Hotel here in New York City. And I will not forget what you were wearing. You were wearing a red suit, and red is your color. And of course, red is the color of Baccarat. And we had a lovely meeting, and there was a lot of energy, and there were a lot of ideas that came from that meeting. And you invited me then to the Napa Valley from there. And my first stop was in Yountville, where I was overwhelmed in the JCB lounge with all the Baccarat that you have. And I had never met an ambassador who had so much passion for the brand until I came to Yountville to see you. Everywhere you turn, there's Baccarat. So there's great food, there's better wine, and there's Baccarat everywhere.
So I'm going to tell you my version, because that's very kind of you. But dear friends, first I'm wearing Gina's kiss, because Gina is with me, of course, to send you a big kiss, you know, and all the love. Dear friends, you know, Jim is a very unique individual, as you could see, sexy, charming, and I said it, very debonair. So I was expecting, frankly, a conservative man, maybe with a French accent, with a blue suit and a red tie, you know, some look like the one you see on TV every day in the Rose Garden. And I saw a very flamboyant, sexy man at the head of one of the oldest brand in the world, one of the most crazy, fabulous image that he is portraying. So I was thrilled. Gina was so excited. So Jean came to see us, and you know, that was the beginning of a long friendship, which is the key in life. Now, Jim, before we go into a few other questions that we've prepared and talking about your passion, what drove you to be wanting to lead Baccarat? Because, you know, you've been in fashion all your life, and with Cartier as well, and some of those top brands in the world. What made you say, I'm going to preside this company and take it to new heights?
So I was given this opportunity by a person whom I worked with at my previous company in fashion. And given the opportunity, I was always a customer and a huge fan of Baccarat. So to think like I can run this company and work on making it more lively, making it more exciting, was an opportunity. I said, let's do this. And in my first week, I came and said, we need to dust off the Sleeping Beauty. We are very classic. You know, I think you and I share many similarities. We may not look similar. You have a very avant-garde, I have an avant-garde, but they're very different. But what we share is a passion And what we share is this idea of using our beautiful things every day. And that's what, for me, that's the message that I want to get out. So no matter what the cover of the book looks like, doesn't matter. You know, it's really people who appreciate and love beautiful things.
How did you succeed? Because a lot of our friends, and we have hundreds of friends with us tonight and thousands who will be watching, you know, for me, Baccarat, as you know, I had my first decanter that I purchased at the age of 11. You say a beauty, this is an iconic, historical, you know, brand launched by Louis XV in the old days of French aristocracy. This is really part of the French flag. How did you modernize it so quickly and so amazingly? Because thanks to you, I've never seen so many people saying, Baccarat is so cool. I want to use it. I don't want to just use it for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And they do all those great things, from a chess game to all of that. How did you do this? Give some clues to all the listeners who want to look at a great entrepreneur who's done something amazing with history.
You're super kind. I think that for me, it's really how we look at this product. We grew up in an age where our mothers and our grandmothers had it in a cupboard, and we used it on Easter, Passover, or Hanukkah and Christmas. And we didn't use it on Thursday night or Friday night, May 15th. We had to use not the good stuff. And for me, I was walking home one day it was my first week, I was walking down Madison Avenue, and I walked past Remova luggage. And I have Remova luggage. And you spend a lot of money on Remova luggage, and after one trip, you beat the hell out of it. And it looks old. But we go back and we buy another piece, and after one trip, that piece looks old, and we use our luggage over and over and over. And I came home and I thought, why haven't I been using the crystal that I've owned for 20 years? So after one use, it still looks new. Why aren't I using this? So I came home and we got rid of all of our glassware, and the modernization is not so crazy, but it's to use what we have.
That's right.
And using it, but this idea of investing in something nice for the home too.
Very
you know,
nice.
You wear nice clothes. I love nice clothes.
And I love that shirt you're wearing. Look at that. Hey, can you show us a little bit of that?
I've been in clothes in 2 months.
I know. Well, many people are asking, can we see Jim's chest a little more? Because he has amazing tattoos. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love tattoo, which I love, and I'm insanely impressed. What about on your right hand, Jim? Show the eye.
Well, the eye.
Yeah. Look at this eye. This is unbelievable.
So this was done by my artist in Italy, and he freehanded this.
Wow.
So, and this is my latest.
What's this one?
No meaning, just something by somebody who's an inspiration to me.
Well, and you have great vision. So the eye, I'm not surprised of it. By the way, before talking fashion, how would you describe this wine in a few words, maybe 3? For you who is so good at describing things.
I would say it's elegant. I would say it's seductive.
Ooh.
And I would say it tastes balanced.
Ooh, I like that. So I love it because you became day one a JCB collector, and I was very proud to see your beautiful embossed card coming. Exactly. And you've always loved wine, Jim, right? Has wine always been part of your life?
Yes. So, it's funny. I remember meeting you on the first day, and we had a conversation about wine. And I don't really know much about wine, but I know what I like. And I think you've taught me a lot about wine in the time we've had at Raymond and in Yountville, about the different nodes and the different techniques of making wine. But I know what I like. And for me, I really love the JCB. Number 1 is my favorite red.
Uh-huh.
I'm honored. So yeah,
Hey, so Jim, you're obviously very big in fashion. So who inspires you the most in fashion? Who do you look up to? And how do you apply that to your business today? Because you're kind of a fashion of the table as well. A lot of your tabletops and a lot of your setups at your magical tables are very trendy and fashionable. So tell us a little bit about that, because I think in addition to this, explain to all our friends how important the table setting is.
Well, in the last 2 months, my inspiration for fashion has been Nike, because all we wear is sweats.
Do you wear something underneath, or?
It depends on my mood.
Okay, good.
It depends on if I'm being
Personal
provocative
question.
and rebellious. No, but in all seriousness, who inspires me? Some of my favorite brands, I've been a fan of D Squared for about almost 20 years since their inception, and I have been very committed and loyal to them. In more modern times, I would say that Dior Homme is my favorite of the moment. I think what Chris Van Ash started and Kim Jones has continued is pretty amazing. It's taking something that is classic and modernizing it, which is what you're talking about. We've been doing with Baccarat. Yeah. I very much love setting the table. And as some of you may have seen during this quarantine time, I've been setting tables. And what I look at our table as a mannequin. And I think when you come from fashion, you walk into a store and you see a mannequin. But in homeware, we don't have a mannequin. And so when you set a table and show someone how to do a placemat with a napkin, with the correct plate, with the correct glassware, that's your mannequin for them to see, because it's hard for people to imagine.
I totally agree with you. And a table can be very inspirational. And, you know, when we created, obviously, this piece that I'm using right now, this is when I get the biggest amount of question on a table is, why do you put bubbles in a decanter? And I remember you asked me that same question at first, says, are we really going to decant? So dear friends, we were on the Madison Avenue store that obviously welcomes as well the beautiful office of Jim. And, you know, we do an amazing party with our friend Charlie Palmer that Jim organized. And suddenly I take one of the JCB wines, sparkling, and I put it in a few decanters that I picked from the shelves. And Jim is saying, what the hell are you doing? And I said, well, Marie Antoinette did it before me in 1785 in the Crystal Palace, in the Galerie des Glaces in Versailles, and became a trend. So we ought to do that as well together. So it was so fun because this original idea, Jim, in many ways was amplified thanks to this great event we did together.
So we have a collaboration for the JCB lovers know that JCB is now a crystal designer, and this beautiful decanter is designed by the one and only. And this is the first time that we have invited someone from the outside to design a piece like this. And it is truly fashion. So it's hard for you to see with my light, but it's pretty spectacular. This is the champagne decanter. There's also the wine decanter. And then you have the champagne glass, which is very
toasting with.
Very different than a flute or a coupe that you would normally drink champagne with. But Jean-Charles, why don't you explain why you designed a champagne glass in this form?
Well, you know, you and I love senses and expression. And, you know, what I admire with Jim, dear friends, which is great in an entrepreneur and a great leader, is the adaptability, the flexibility, and the willingness to do things. And I think for all the listeners and a lot of our friends who love this, is they love entrepreneurship. And you are one of those, Jim. That's why I love doing things with you. Is we had this idea and we said, let's create the one and only glass for not only bubbles, but for wine as well. So the idea was to create a wine that you could smell, feel, touch the bubbles. Because in many ways, we love the flute. It's gorgeous. And Jim, you have many great wines behind you, obviously in your house. The Vega, look at that. That's beautiful too. It's harder to smell the aromatic expression, right? And you have a small nose, but imagine someone with a very big nose, you know, wouldn't be that easy. So you want to make sure you smell. So we started a collaboration with Jim on all the principles of what we wanted to get out of a wine glass. And this was so fun to be able to do it with Baccarat, and more importantly, to convince the whole team to create something so pervertingly different, because it was a true perversion, right, Jim? Just taking
Absolutely.
them, that traditional French firm, to this deviation of one, a wine glass, which is champagne, and two, a decanter. But Jim, tell us, you're in your house tonight. You like to host. What has been the most crazy party you want to describe for us that you've done? Because I know there's a lot of wild things happening in New York City with you. So describe it and give us an inspiration, because we all locked in and we'd love to hear more about your sense of celebration and party.
So I love to host a dinner party. I prefer to have a smaller group than a big party, because you can really spend time getting to know people. I love to have a dinner party with 10 to 12 people. And what do I love is my partner and I bring our friends together, and we love to introduce different people and watch these friendships grow out of our introduction at our party. And it's been really fun. We have a very large group of friends that have international experiences. And so to bring them together and to share experiences and find similarities with people, it's been so joyful. And then to create a menu, to cook the food, to serve the food, which we do. We don't have them catered. We do it all of ourselves. And it's just part of the joy. Setting the table over the top is, part of the whole experience. And then where it leads, you don't know. They go till, some end at 11, some end at 3. Our last one ended at 3 in the morning, and we had to kick people out. It's like, I got to go to bed. So, and it was 3 in the morning. They're like, these people would have gone all night. So it's just fun. And we sit around and have a really fun conversation. And it reminds me of an event we had, or an experience I had at Secret Indulgence with you, where we were all asked to check our phones at the door. You hosted a dinner party, yes, and we were forced to have a conversation. And today, that is so rare, and it is so joyful when it happens.
And I love it.
And you remember that evening.
Many people are commenting on this is really, maybe it has been somehow a positive of this experience we just lived over the last 2.5 months, is to slow down, spend more time with the people we enjoy, and create those virtual happy hours as well, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, another topic I really want to touch on, because we got to get to know you a little more. I've been fascinating with your tattoos. So first question, where is the most secretive tattoo you have that you've never said to anyone that you're willing to share now? Well, where on that good-looking body is it?
I would say the most provocative is on my lower body.
Aha, wow. You see, I was shaking of excitement, so I had to bring the bottle down for a second.
Exactly.
So exactly. Now I need to ask you.
You've never seen it, John Charles.
Well, and I may never see it, as long as it's in my imagination. That's what counts. So, Jim, I know you love wine. Is it going to take barter? Is it going to take, sending you free wines? What would it take for Jean Shreve to have a JCB passion tattoo?
Well, I already have passion.
Yeah, but, we want the JCB logo on it.
For you and I to go together. You and I will go together and get matching tattoos.
Oh, I like the idea.
I'll find someone in Northern Cal and we'll go together.
I think it would be fun to really, do something exciting together like that. So
let's do it.
Jim, I just poured passion because now we're going to go into your passion.
Okay.
Everyone wants to get to know the man behind this beautiful red box and those fabulous crystal creation. Because the principle of crystal is to see through. So we need to see through Jim Shreve. So now, dear friends, we're using our one and only from the Passion Collection with Baccarat. As you could see, this is our fantastic glass. Chin, chin, Jim. Chin, chin. And I'm using a decanter, which we've designed as well. The little brother or sister of the amazing champagne. And you could see the proportion, the elegance, reminiscent of the 18th century. The diamond cut, which allows you to see the wine through, and obviously the rims, because we use it as well for white wine. So you could see the different colors of white. So,
and the stopper, which represents the grapes going into the decanter.
I love it. Exactly. You have those little magical, and I know many of you have, I could see Jeremy has it, Laurie, Carla, many of you have the decanter, which I'm pleased. Isn't it fun to decant white wine as well with it? So Jim, tell us who inspires you the most.
So that's a good question. I think there's, I get inspiration from a lot of different avenues and a lot of different people. I'd say a person who has inspired me for many, many years is Martha Stewart.
Oh,
I think Martha Stewart is a person whom allowed us to be creative, to set a table in a way that we had never really set before. And I think that she really she has encouraged me and many people to take ordinary to be something extraordinary, to be creative, and she's passionate about it. So that's one person. Another person is a tattoo artist of mine. His name is Scott Campbell. When I moved to New York, I wanted a tattoo by this person. And his wait time was 6 months, and he was super expensive. And I just didn't want to wait for him. What inspired me about him was he also thought outside the box. He wasn't just an ordinary tattooer. His style was very broad, but he's also one who has drive, he has creativity, he has focus, and he has a lot of passion. And while in this job, I had the opportunity to meet him, and he is doing a collaboration with tattoo designs on glasses.
Oh, really?
And he is the artist who did this last tattoo. And so we're looking at a lot of different creative and fun ways to attract new customers and to get people
I think
just to see Baccarat in a different way.
And I know you've worked with Chrome Hearts as well as another phenomenal artist.
Absolutely.
Now, how is it for you, and Jim, don't ease your word just because I happen to be French, but how is it for you to bring back those ideas to the manufacturing facility in Baccarat and tell the French, I'm collaborating with a tattoo artist and this is what we're going to do? How is the cultural exchange and maybe the challenge you have to face sometimes?
So I spent 7 years of my life living in France. And during those 7 years, I think I learned to understand the French psyche a bit. And I think that there's a lot of really positive characteristics that stereotypically French people possess. And I do think creativity is one of those characteristics. So if you present it in a way that's a global idea, that is more creative, that is on brand, then they accept it. And I think, you know, working with you and the collaboration that we took to them was a perfect example, because we've never done it before and we've never done it since, where we've allowed someone to design a glass and a decanter for themselves. But when it's on brand and when you can fill this with love and passion, the French love it and they accept it.
I like that. When you could fill that with love and passion. Hey, by the way, Jim, I understand it's been one of the biggest sellers worldwide.
It's amazing. I think, you know, you as a French person, but living in America for many years, there's also stereotypes and thoughts that we have, and you're a winemaker. And the thought is, I need a red wine glass, a white wine glass, and I need one for Bordeaux and one for Chardonnay and one for this. And you come to the table with expertise and say, one glass is enough. And I can tell all your friends and fans out there that experiencing wine with you, we use one glass the entire day and we dump We dump and drink out of one glass, and it's this shape. No matter the color, no matter the bubbles, no matter the time of day. And for me, that's what one reason why this is doing so well.
Well, thank you. And Brigitte here is suggesting maybe we should do some engraving with some of your tattoo artwork. So
Fabulous.
Really cool idea you just suggested. Now, Jim, as a great leader that you are, who inspired you? Who made you who you are today? I know you're very close with some of your family members. Your mother is here on the West Coast next to us.
In Napa now.
That's right. So who made you, who made this fabulous boy that we all love? Well, maybe you can bring a memory from your childhood within this context.
So I think from a family standpoint, there's two people. I think that many different family members have had a lot of influence on me. My father is incredibly influential on me, and he really encouraged me to be who I wanted to be and do whatever I wanted to do. And he said, the only thing I ask is that you try your best and do your best to be the best in your job. And that's all he said. If you want to be a garbage man, go be a garbage man, but be the best garbage man.
I love it.
So and the other is my partner. I've been with my partner for 27 years, and he has been a support, and he has been an inspiration, and he has been a motivation, and he has been a drive, and he's been everything that one could imagine. I would never be here today without his support.
Wow. So, I hope he's listening, because tonight's going to be feast at the Shreve family house.
He can't go very far since we're in quarantine.
Keep watching, you know. I know Melissa and Jen loves to watch, so you never know.
That's right.
Hey, Jim, talking about influence, for me, I asked you the question I'm going to answer as well. And I'm purposely going to white wine after red wine, because it's as well very good when you do a wine tasting to start with the most robust wine, maybe the most tannic, and to go on the softness side of it. So in Burgundy, you know, we try Pinot Noir often when it's a professional tasting, and we finish with Chardonnay. So maybe you want to try number 81, because I'm going to share maybe a story I never told you.
I have 81 here.
You know, you asked me, and I know you did, and I did not answer that question. I basically created 81 because I came in 81 thanks to my grandparents. And I really would say they had an enormous influence on me. You know, they were school teachers, and they knew everything about every topic. So when you talk about inspiration, culture, knowledge, and being motivated, this is always so motivated to be with someone who can teach you everything. And I came in the US, it was in 81. So I want to dedicate this, Jim, to not only our friendship, but your amazing nation. I know you love Europe, but your amazing love of France and Europe. But for me, my amazing love to the US. So let's have a little toast to America here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, John Charles.
So I'm going to ask you again to describe this wine in 3 words, but what, besides crystal, besides fashion, Jim, what is your passion? What is your, you know, what are you going to do tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon? I'm not asking you for your early schedule, but what, besides the gym I know, is there something I don't know?
No, you know everything about me.
I doubt that.
I'm an open book. No, I think some of the things you may not know, some you do know. I love to cook. I love to cook for groups, I would say. But in this last few months, I've been cooking every night. I love photography, and I especially love travel photography. And I love to travel. Hopefully we will again. I also love baseball. And I'm very true to my childhood team, which is the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, well, you know, you could see.
They were never champions when I lived there, but they are now. So.
Well, that's great. I did not know about your passion of cooking. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Well, we
it's
got to
fun.
have you. You know, tomorrow night we have a great guest named Kyle, who is probably one of the best chefs in the country. And when you come on the West Coast, we'll go and spend some time at his restaurant in Hillsburg, where we have a JCB lounge and a beautiful Baccarat chandelier in the Passion Collection next to his restaurant. And it's
Fabulous.
called Single Thread. So,
Okay.
you know, if you love cooking and if you love, you know, mixing French food with Japanese, with this will be fun.
And I love Healdsburg.
Great town. So, Jim, describe the wine in 3 words again. Tell me what you think on the Chardonnay.
This one I would say is rebellious.
Mm.
I would say it's luscious. And I feel this is spicy or complex.
Ooh, I love the word spice to this. I would agree. You know, this is really the Sonoma Coast Russian River that comes out. The region you know so well because you vacation up here once in a while.
Indeed, I do. And hopefully in a few months I'll be out. I'll let you know.
So, Jim, we have a few more minutes, and I know people are anxious to get to know you more. So, we have a question that came through. Before I ask a very exciting one, any regrets in life?
No. I don't believe in regrets. I believe in learning from something that we wish we had done differently. And next time it comes up, doing it differently. But you can't turn back the clock, so why regret?
So, do you have dreams yet that you are working on that are very exciting to share?
I think for me, my dreams revolve around travel. I have a lot of dreams with travel, and I have a dream to how I can positively influence and leave a lasting impression with people. So what's, as a leader or as a coach, as a teacher, what is the message that people are going to look back on life and remember that I left them with?
Wow.
But dreaming is
Powerful.
Dreaming is critical.
What is a dream that you're willing to share beyond that? Or what is a wild dream that you're willing to share?
No, I mean, I have dreams of travel. I want to go to Antarctica.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll ever make it, since the only way to go is on a cruise ship. And I'm not so willing to hop on a cruise ship right now. So maybe I'll settle for Machu Picchu. But I think there's a lot of travel. I think it's a big world. And I think with every trip one takes, you learn about a different culture in a different way, and it opens your mind. I just returned on March 17th from Morocco.
Wow.
Spent 2 weeks in Morocco, and it was really life-changing. So
just you know, one of my favorite country to visit. You know, we obviously know the movie The Man Who Knew Too Much and a few Hitchcock movies that take place in Morocco. Besides that, one of the best friends of America of all time. What did you love the most out of Morocco? Because that's
we spoke French for 2 weeks because everyone spoke French, which I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't realize that French was the first and or second language there. So that was number one. Food was divine. People were so nice and so genuine and so warm. And we had come the beginning of March, so it was at the beginning of COVID, and so there were really few crowds. And by the time we left, we got out on the last flight to America from Casablanca. Wow. So there were very, very, very few tourist crowds around. So it was a different feel, but the people are so genuine and so warm and so nice. So
fantastic. I echo with you. Traveling, for me, this has been in my life, you know, making wine and traveling around the world. The most exciting thing is to really discover cultures and differences and religion and skin colors and tradition. And it's very true. Africa, we never spend enough time. You know, specifically here in the US, we typically go to South America or Asia. In Europe, as you know, you live there, we go to Africa a lot. And
yeah,
I really invite people after this to really travel and spend time. You know, my biggest worry.
And I think we can't be afraid of travel. I think that, you know, the world tomorrow is going to be a different world, but I don't think we can live in a world of fear, and we have to approach it with caution and intelligence, but we have to keep going.
Totally agree. So Jim, now, last question of the night. And I know you have dinner waiting for you, but behind those powerful, intimidating glasses that you're wearing, I know we see those beautiful eyes. What is a secret? What is the secret you've never shared you're willing to share tonight? To all of us.
I don't have any.
And to everyone. Oh, you don't have any secrets. I doubt. Oh, what is something?
I've been trying to think about a secret
for so long.
I've been trying to think about a secret. Maybe when I was in kindergarten, I got on my report card that I couldn't skip, and I had to go back to afternoon PE class to learn how to skip because I just couldn't. And my report card said, Jim is a boy, you need to let him be one. He needs to climb a tree. And it's the honest to God truth, and I still have that report card here.
Oh, that's a great one.
So,
hey, Jim,
but I can skip now.
So, Jim, we're working on some exciting things. We should not say anything.
More to come.
To anyone. Dear friends, Jim is a true entrepreneur. There's ideas flowing between us at all time. So you know there's a few more things coming within the Passion Collection that we'll have very soon. But Jim, I really want to thank you so much for, one, spending time with us, two, inspiring us. I want everybody to watch and rewatch. You gave a lot of wise advice, and you are a true inspiration to us as winemakers. We surround ourselves with your crystal. We live by your crystal. I'm going to live now by your life principle. I cannot wait for you to cook for us because you're the chef.
I will.
Guapo Hill, as soon as you travel
I'm there.
Your phenomenal partner, we need to have you. You need to show us the next tattoos, and we need to work on the JCB one. Promise?
Thank you, John Charles.
Great to have
love
you.
Your friendship.
Dear
and love
friends,
you, and love all your
together.
passion.
Jim, to many more.
Cheers.
Great evening, fabulous weekend.
Salud.
See you tomorrow, everyone. 4 p.m. Pacific time.